The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my esteemed colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Moments away, it'll be the Sacramento Kings going up against the Memphis Grizzlies at FedEx Forum. And for Memphis, coming off a loss in the first game of the season, they'll no doubt be anxious to put tonight's contest in the win column and avoid an 0-2 start. And we've seen the success this Grizzlies team has had over the last stretch of seasons as they're as tough as they come in the NBA. What does this team do so well, Shaq, that keeps them competitive?
They have really strong defenders at every position on the floor. They rebound very well as a team, and on defense, they help each other.
They make it extremely difficult on opposing offenses because they have four guys that they're really great players, but their best attribute is defense. How many teams can say that? Not many.
That does it for us. Kevin Harlan with the call, and we will see you later on.
A great view of the top of Memphis, always a welcoming city. Live from Memphis, Tennessee, at the home of the Grizzlies, we're broadcasting from the FedEx Forum. Looking at Sacramento, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Clippers.
Yeah, foul trouble early on, I thought, set the tone in that game, and it just made it difficult for them to get over the hump.
Yeah, it really got them out of sync, and that hurt them big time. Forced them to go much deeper into their bench than they would have liked to.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court for Sacramento, McLemore and Gay on the perimeter. Koufos out there with DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Rondo in at the one spot. And for Costa Koufos, Clark, so far he hasn't had that breakout year. He has been kind of in the shadow of Marc Gasol on that front line for Memphis.
Yeah, but he's understood his role, and he's done a nice job. He did start 81 games for Denver a few seasons ago, Kevin, but I think he's very comfortable as a backup. He's one of those guys who's just effective in limited playing stints.
And that one misses.
And talking about Koufos, he gives you some things you want out of your bigs. Great size and activity, solid rebounds and blocks per minute numbers. He may just need a chance in the right system to show more game.
Cousins, no one around him. Good on the 13-footer.
Really nice way to get your first bucket of the day.
And there's Gasol. That's good on the assist by Conley.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
And it's the Kings with the ball.
And, you know, getting back to Koufos, one thing he has to get better at is finishing through contact. He has a really nice touch around the basket, but sometimes contact negates that.
Now here's Gay. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Clippers.
Yeah, and he also did a great job on the backboards, Kev, and that also was a factor.
Rondo against Green. Gasol kicks to Randall. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And now just over a minute played here in the first. Now here's McLemore, covered by Lee. Here's Cousins. Now Koufos. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Clippers. And that is good.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
Looking at Memphis, they want to turn it around after the loss to Indiana. And there's the feed to Gasol. The jump hook, that drops. Now here's Rondo. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. He dishes it to Cousins. Lets it go from 11. Can't get it to go. And it's Memphis the other way. Here's Green. Can't tie it up as that one misses. For Sacramento, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. It's rebounded by Gasol. For Memphis, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Kings were off to a hot start last year, but things certainly fell apart midway. A big factor in that was the messy firing of their coach, Mike Malone.
Yeah, really, that firing came out of nowhere to the fans and the players, and it seemed odd to fire a coach that has been leading his team to good basketball.
And, you know, we'll never really know the full details of why Malone was fired, but the effect it had on the team was easy to see. Kings really tailspinned out of control afterwards.
2 shots.
You know, the Kings, I think, will look back and realize they made a dubious decision the way they handled that coaching change. I mean, lucky for them, they were able to right things, so to speak, by landing George Karl later on, clearly one of the better coaches in NBA history.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And guys, Jeff Green, by every measure of athleticism and skill, should have become one of the game's better small forwards, but inconsistency has plagued him throughout his career.
And Kevin, I always go back to something my college coach told me. The mental to the physical is 4-to-1 in this game. And so through those 7 full seasons, he's teased everyone with that talent. And then it does suddenly disappear. And there's no other way to describe it other than the fact that it is mental. He hasn't been able to sustain it in terms of the consistency, and that's why he hasn't fulfilled his potential.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, Dave Yeager gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. He told me he's wary about how they'll contend with DeMarcus Cousins inside. He said he's a beast in there, no doubt about it. Size, length, strength, and a ton of skill. The talent is really off the charts with him. And guys, he knows it won't be easy to muscle Cousins away from the rim, but he said that's what they've got to find a way to do. It won't be easy.
And as always, Doris, thank you.
You know, with Jeff Green, the one thing you can say about him is he's been durable, especially since he had the unforeseen heart issue in 2011 for which he needed season-ending surgery. Since then, over the past 3 full seasons, he's played in 81, 82, and 78 games.
Here's Cousins after the made shot from Zach Randolph. And it's Rondo penetrating. Rejected by Gasol. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Costa Koufos. So the Kings call timeout, their first.
And talking about Jeff Green, I'm rooting for him. I mean, I'm rooting for him to finally put it all together, to gain and maintain the confidence, and really to fulfill the vast potential we all know that he had. Taking a look here at the numbers for Randolph. He's coming off an excellent season. He was around 16 points per last year, 10 rebounds and 2 assists. What incredible numbers. He has been a beast.
Impossible to guard right now. When he's on a roll like this, there's not much you can do to stop him.
Here's Rondo. Kicks to McLemore from past the arc. Offensive rebound. Shot clock at 3. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it. And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. 5th on the list, DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, he had a terrific year last year, consistent, and ended up being one of the best scorers in the league.
The Grizzlies have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Lee kicks to Randolph. To the inside, here's Green. Misses from short range.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Rejected by Randolph. Lee passes to Conley. Green, the screen. Gasol kicks to Conley. Dishes it to Green. 6 to shoot. Pass to Lee. Some nice passing there by Memphis. And it's off the back rim, no good.
You could tell he assumed he'd be able to beat the defensive coverage even though it was all over.
And McLemore kicks to Gay. Rondo against Conley. And then Gay with the dunk.
Well, that was a max-range alley-oop pass there, guys. It's got to be. I don't know if anybody's throwing one any longer.
That's just crazy.
And how high did he have to go to make that catch? That's what makes it even more unbelievable.
Here's Lee after Rudy Gay's bucket. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. So it'll be Courtney Lee shooting. It's on Ben McLemore. Some changes for Memphis. Wright, he's checked in for Randolph. Allen comes in for Jeff Green. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Cousins. Caspi comes in for Rudy Gay. Caron Butler is checked in for McLemore. And it's Collison in for Rajon Rondo. Here's Bellinelli. Wyatt so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. To the middle. Cauley-Stein dishes to Collison. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Now here's Lee. He has 5. Rebound by Caspi.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint. And guys, Courtney Lee, not the most flamboyant offensive threat, but he's a steady player at both ends of the floor. Makes threes at a high clip and competes defensively. One of those guys that you don't necessarily win because of, but you sure will win with.
The Grizzlies trail by 5. 1:12 left to play in the first. Here's Udrich. Courtney Lee is on the wing. To the paint. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Butler. Cauley-Stein passes to Bellinelli. 3 for Caspi. Kept alive by Sacramento. Outside Butler. And Bellinelli kicks to Caspi. That's good. Now it's a 7-point Kings lead.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Gasol. And another miss by Memphis.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Collison gets a wide open look. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. Collison's got 8.
Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this lead to get even larger.
Now Udrich. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Out left to the wing. Shot to stop the drought. And yes, sir, that one drops. Just 4 seconds left here in the first quarter. Collison. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And so the first quarter is in the books. Kings lead by 8. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. And the Grizzlies, a team that's dealt with their share of tough playoff losses. But, you know, you talked to point guard Mike Conley, and as he told us before the game, he still feels a championship is within reach.
We feel like we're a team that's had to go through a lot of adversity. We've been through a lot of things that's set us back. You know, we feel like we can be just as good as anybody else, and why not us?
One big reason why not them is what happened to Conley. Greg, losing him in the playoffs last year was the biggest adversity they went through. Can you make a case that it just made them tougher, or did it really take something out of them?
You know, Kevin, it's really hard to say. A tough break, obviously, losing Mike, and I mean that literally as well. But their problems did set them back, and maybe they can be just as good as anybody else, but until they are, they're going to have some issues.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Kings.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
Yeah, they're showing some muscle also in the first half as well, and getting a lot of their points in the paint. Really like the balance they've shown.
Green is out there with Zach Randolph. Then it's Matt Barnes. Then it's Conley. And it's Carter in at the 2-guard spot. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. And Anderson gets it to go.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Now here's Barnes. Softly drops in the floater.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
Good.
This is really the story of the game here. They've been excellent from behind the arc.
And here's Carter. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Collison against Conley. Inside. Count that one, and the Kings lead has been cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Green.
And the Grizzlies played so well against all the other playoff teams. Part of it is that they just have a style that matches up well with anyone.
Timeout called by the Kings.
You know, that's the thing with the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, there isn't a team that gives them too much trouble anywhere in the league. They're good at home and on the road. They're used to playing in tight, low-scoring games, and they create that situation with their deliberate style.
And now look at DeMarcus Cousins, some numbers on him. Great showing for him last season. Put up about 24 points per, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists. And what sets him apart is his rebounding. And as you can see, he's been in peak form.
This last stretch, unbelievable force going to the glass, and it's been reflected on the stat sheet.
Catching up on the changes for Sacramento. Kufis comes in for Caspi, and Curry subbed in for Darren Collison. Kufis kicks to Anderson. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. First one falls for him. Last season, Memphis fell late and would end up with the 5th seed in the NBA playoffs. Only one of 2 teams to make the playoffs each of the last 5 seasons, along with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and they were a team that nobody wanted to play. Memphis drew Portland in that first round, and even though they were the 5th seed, they had home court advantage.
Both free throws good from Anderson.
You know, guys, Memphis waltzed through the first round against Portland. The second round, a lot tougher against Golden State. They went up 2-1 in that series, but couldn't hold on to that lead.
And with that shot, the Sacramento lead is cut down to 8 on the bucket from Barnes.
Oh, great production on the interior right now. 8 straight from inside.
Buffalo bully ball right there, partner.
Okay. Getting a little physical. I like that. I like that reference.
Yeah. Now here's Anderson. He has 5, and that one's good by Gay.
And guys, Memphis would lose 2 of their 3 games at home against Golden State. So things got tough with the Conley injury and missing Tony Allen as well. But they did put up a good fight, ultimately, though, falling in 6 games to the Warriors.
The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. Green's got 4 points in the quarter. Kings leading now by 8. Outside Curry. Here's the screen. Over to the left wing. Here's Cousins. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Cousins has got the lead. Back up to 10 now for the Kings. The Grizzlies have gone a sensational 5 of 5 from the field since the start of the second quarter. Green dishes to Barnes. Back to Green. The shot is off. Curry with the defensive effort. Passes it to Cousins. The rebound by Jeff Green.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter. Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Sacramento making some changes. Ben McLemore, he's checked in for Gay. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for James Anderson. The Kings shooting their fourth attempt at the free throw line right here.
And if we want to take a look back, they converted about 76% from the line.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for him. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Gasol comes in for Green, and Tony Allen subbed in for Matt Barnes. Outside Gasol. Allen against Curry. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Let's go. No good off the front iron. Kings leading now by 13. Outside Rondo. Cousins with it. 32 points for him last game against the Clippers.
And how about the job he did rebounding as well, guys? I mean, just a dominant performance on the glass.
Here's Conley.
You know, last season, DeMarcus Cousins had several triple-doubles, but with Cousins, he would have 20-plus rebounds to go along with 20 points and 10 assists. That's amazing for a big man, for any man, as a matter of fact.
So timeout called here, but first for Memphis. And for Cousins, those 20, 20-10 triple-doubles are an incredibly rare feat. First time, in fact, that we've seen that in the NBA since 2010.
And he was the first big man since the great Wilt Chamberlain to do it in back-to-back games. So Cousins is one of the rare big men who can do it all and has displayed that multiple times last season.
Having a chance here to check out how the Grizzlies ranked in the NBA last season. Second in opponent points per game, 6th in steals, and they were top 10 in free throw percentage. That's always helpful in winning games.
And you talked about their defensive ranking. I mean, they really do a good job of holding their opponents to a low point output each and every night. That grindhouse style really wore on teams.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. White, he's checked in for Randolph. Lee comes in for Vince Carter. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. Now here's Lee. He has 5. Wright sets a screen. Just 5 to shoot. Lee passes to Wright. They get it back. Gasol. To end the run. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Gasol's got 8.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Ben McLemore. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Grizzlies trail by 13. Here's Udrich. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Outside Gasol. 4 on the clock. Fires from 18. Udrich can't hit.
just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Here's Bellinelli. 9 points last game out. The 3 ball. Shot is off. Excellent D there from Allen. Pass to Udrich. Back to Allen. Lee left side, 13 feet away. Good as the jump shot falls. Lee's got 7 points in the game.
And former Coach of the Year George Karl making his way back into the league last season. Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
Kufis kicks to McLemore. That's good. McLemore's got his first 2 points.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Feeds to Allen. The pass to Lee. Here's Gasol. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. And what a pickup to get a guy like Carl, Greg, on their bench. As you mentioned, he's just been a winner, Clark, his entire career.
Well, he's climbing the ladder in the all-time wins category as a coach, and also he's a cancer survivor. He's overcome a battle with cancer, and that also lends itself to having great compassion and respect for George Karl.
As did his son, Kobe.
That's
Remember
right.
that? Yeah.
That's right. It was a family affair.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Here's Udrich looking for his first basket still in this one. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. He kicks it to Lee. At the elbow, it's Gasol. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. 6 seconds left in the first half. Here's Cauley Stein, and that concludes the first half. It's Sacramento. They lead by 13. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. DeMarcus Cousins having an outstanding game. He had 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal. Shaq, how did you think the Kings were playing?
Well, they're out in front tonight because of their offensive rebounding. Those second chance buckets came into play in a big way. Those are effort points, momentum builders, salvaging points off the scrap heap. You never heard me say scrap heap before, Ernie. I don't even know what it means. It just sounded good.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on Memphis.
Well, the way I see it, they're losing this game because they're being out-rebounded. You can't give up this kind of differential and expect to remain competitive. So what do? You commit more guys to the glass, guards included. You make it a priority that if you do ultimately lose this game, it's not because you didn't rebound.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. You look at DeMarcus Cousins, what a contribution.
And he really just broke out the entire arsenal of post moves there in that first half.
And I think he might even have a few more tricks up his sleeve. I mean, he'll break them out as we start heading down the stretch. I'm sure of that.
On the court for Sacramento, McLemore and Gay on the perimeter. DeMarcus Cousins out there with Costa Kufis. And it's Rondo in at the point guard position.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Here's Gay, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
DeMarcus Cousins can really be unstoppable at times on offense. He's shown star qualities ever since he stepped into the NBA. But it wasn't until last season that he was voted to the All-Star game.
Here's Rondo. Michael Conley making his last shot. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. Down low. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist by Rondo. Rondo's got 3 assists now in this one. The Grizzlies trail by 13. A little over a minute gone here in the second half. Conley's shot is off.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far. Well, I tell you, that was double duty right there. He influenced the shot and then got back and cleaned the glass.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. He feeds it to Gasol. Here's Randolph. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. And that's now 6 points for Zach Randolph. Rondo dishes to McLemore. Rondo kicks to Cousins. Rejected by Gasol. Rondo against Conley. Gasol's in the post. He's got 10. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Kings leading now by 11. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. Rejected by Gasol. And now here comes Conley leading the break. Lee, that's good. Lee's got 9 points.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
Now here's Gay. 8 points for him.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
For Memphis, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Timeout called, the Grizzlies. You look at him physically, and Rudy Gay is the complete package at the small forward spot. Nothing holding him back.
And you know, Kevin, he comes in at 6'8", has that solid frame, unbelievable athletic ability with the speed to go with that for a player of his height. He is a true talent.
Moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey guys, well George Karl had some advice for the team in that last huddle. He was intent on running the offense through DeMarcus Cousins. Coach reminded his guys that he is the centerpiece of their offense and he's the one they want with the most freedom to operate. Those are likely not the last adjustments they make today, guys. There's still time left in this one. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. And yes, sir, that one drops.
And with Rudy Gay, the physical part of the game has never been a problem with him. As great a physical player as any other small forward in the league, his one drawback is he can get in his own head at times and not play to his strengths.
Now here's Collison. He's got 11. The kick outside to Butler. Just 5 to shoot. Gay. Off the iron that time.
And no doubt a lot of players can get in their own head. Like Gay does at times. He does so much on the floor, it is odd when he vanishes for stretches of the game. On pure talent, he has few peers in the league.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
It's been a difference maker for them in this game. That's what's put them in front.
And it's Butler with the jam.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Now here's Conley. Green, the screen. Green with the screen on Collison. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
And the Kings making a change here. Curry's checked in. They set the pick. Here's Cousins. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Excellent game we've seen from DeMarcus Cousins. 15 points and 1 steal as well. I tell you what, he's made his mark on this game in so many ways, guys.
And he would have stood out just on the strength of the defense. But how about offensively? He's been clicking there as well.
He misses the free throw. Well, last season, Greg, another year without playoff basketball in Sacramento. A shame to see some of the best fans in the NBA not be a part of the postseason.
It's a great point, Kevin. Now, 9 straight years where the Kings have failed to make the postseason. 29-win seasons aren't going to get you very far when you're battling in the West.
And he's good on the second.
And, you know, you mentioned the 9 straight years without a playoff appearance for the Kings. Their last trip was in 2006. And since then, they've been rebuilding. That's the second longest playoff drought in the NBA.
Conley kicks to Carter. The dish now to Barnes. Randolph a screen. Clock at 6. Another shot. And it's Conley that time on the assist by Barnes. 6 points for Mike Conley.
Well, if the Kings do make it back to the playoffs, you know they'll be dangerous. Their fans have been through so much the last few seasons. They really deserve to see a team in postseason contention.
It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. And for Caron Butler, came into the league as a hard-nosed defender, good rebounder for a small forward. But it seems like as he matured, Greg, he became more of a three-point marksman.
Great point. And, you know, early in his career, the difficulty with the outside shot, his game was more about toughness. But like most smart veterans, he extended his range so he could live to play a little longer, which he certainly has.
Here on the 2K leaderboard are the rebounding leaders from a season ago. DeMarcus Cousins, third.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers, really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
Wright, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Allen comes in for Vince Carter. Sacramento also making some changes. Cauley Stein comes in for DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Bellinelli in for Curry. Sacramento on defense. Conley kicks to Randolph. Back to Conley. Wright with a screen on Collison. Conley, the pass to Wright. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Wright's got his first points of the game.
And, you know, going back to Caron Butler, he became a complete offensive player at the height of his career. I mean, he improved his ball handling so he could get his shot off from any place on the court. His pull-up, mid-range jumper, cash money. And in a couple years, he averaged nearly 5 assists a game.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And when you talk about Caron Butler, I think the progression of his skill set proves that you can do anything you put your mind to. I mean, this is a guy who's shown what dedication and hard work really mean, and it's made him into one of the best small forwards in our game for a stretch of his career.
And he knocks down the first one. And watching Matt Barnes, he will do all the dirty work for you. He's an instigator. He's an agitator, and he's a team player, I think, at the core. And everywhere he's gone, you know, and he's played for a lot of teams, Greg, he's had that role.
It's a great point. I call him a glue guy. You know, he's not someone who's going to be a volume scorer or a smooth playmaker, but the game really is built on grit, diving for loose balls, taking charges, making hard fouls, you know, whatever it takes to help his team win. I like that line, antagonist. That's a very good way to describe him.
Shot's good.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys, and he made it look easy that time. For Matt Barnes, I really felt last season was one of his best. He was the Tony Allen type defensive guy for Doc Rivers' team. Did all the little things, and he was efficient. Near his career high for three-point percentage and a career low in turnovers.
Now here is Conley. 6 points for him. Wright with a screen on Butler. Barnes against Butler. Count that one, and the Kings' lead has been cut down to 10 on the bucket from Barnes.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring. And I know if I were starting a club, Matt Barnes is the type of guy I would immediately look for. He's that tricky enforcer who has just enough skill to hurt you with his game. So him, in my book, equals winner.
Here's Bellinelli. Grizzlies with the rebound. This game against Sacramento is the first time they've met this year.
And looking back to last season, they won this season series as you'd expect.
Yeah, there's a reason they were a playoff team. I mean, they beat the teams they were supposed to. We'll see if they can do it again tonight.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
Well, I tell you, the Grizzlies guys were really dominant in the first half of the season last year, but after the All-Star break, barely played above 500.
Taking a look here at some numbers for Darren Collison. Good season for him last year. He was around 16 points per last year, 5 assists and 3 rebounds. And really for him, it's about putting in the work and improving his game.
Yeah, and I think he wants to. It's one of those things where you either want it or you don't, and he does.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Marc Gasol has checked in for Randolph. Lee comes in for Matt Barnes. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. Here's Bellinelli. Collison with it, and Allen picks him up defensively. Collison dishes to Anderson. Back to Collison. Just 5 on the clock. Cauley-Stein with the screen for Collison. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And Memphis would end up going 16 and 13 over the back half of last season. Down the stretch, they would only go 5 up and 5 down in their final 10.
Yeah, and Kevin, all those games so important as they jockeyed for position in the West. It was so fluid and volatile down the stretch. They could have been anywhere from a 2nd seed to a 6th on any given day, and they just happened to slump at the wrong time.
Now here's Collison. He's got 13. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Collison's got 4 points in the quarter.
How about that, going up strong? I mean, he doesn't care how much height he's giving up. It's attitude with him.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Kings lead by 8. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the 4th. We've got Udrich. Carter is out there with Green. Then it's Marc Gasol. And it's Lee in at the 2. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. Now here's Gay. Now Cousins, the 10-footer. Green with the rebound. Lee outside. Now the feed to Udrich. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Carter drives in. Out to Lee. Lets the 3 fly. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Lee's got the 4th quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Grizzlies. Dishes to Gay. Back to Rondo. Gasol with the steal. Fast break Memphis. Leads running. We've played just over 1 minute here in the 4th quarter. Here's Gasol. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. Cousins has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly.
Here's Udrich. Carter outside. To the paint. And with that shot, the Kings lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Lee.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
And at this stage of a tight game, the tired legs really start to show. A defense becomes vulnerable if you can continue to pound it inside.
And so here's Sacramento following the score by Memphis. And that one's good. Cousins.
Yeah, it's just a smart shot taking advantage of the mismatch.
Well, with a stroke like that and the height advantage as well, the mid-range J is almost a gimme.
Here's Udrich. It's Lee, top of the key. It's good. This time the assist from Udrich. Lee's got 9 points now in just the second half.
Udrich with the excellent feed that time.
Outside Rondo. Gay against Green. Shoots. And too long on the shot.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Lee gets the bucket.
He's been hot here in the 4th, contributing big at the right time.
And he's, let's face it, hitting everything. A perfect 4 of 4 in the quarter.
Now here's Rondo. And here is Cousins. Fires from 18. And there's Gay. That's good on the assist by Cousins. 14 points for Rudy Gay. Now a timeout called by Memphis.
And guys, you see how Rudy Gay just exploded last season in the second half. I mean, I think he felt at ease in George Karl's system. And I think that's one reason why you're starting to see just how good Rudy Gay can be.
Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Dave Yeager coaching his team during that break. He talked mainly about giving them a different look defensively and dropping more bodies into the paint, saying, listen, they're eating us up on the inside, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop it. Guys, back to you.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Zach Randolph, he's checked in for Carter. And Mike Conley subbed in for Udrich. For a long time, critics have gotten on Gay for his lack of efficiency, but he quieted some of those voices, Clark, last year with his play and stats.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, across the board, he made nice improvements, not only in his scoring, but also his ability to create shots for others.
Shooting two. Shooting two.
And he makes the first. Well, the Sacramento Kings weren't exactly road toughened last season, but they did have, Clark, some impressive stints.
Yeah, they were excellent in terms of scoring the ball. No problem at all putting up points. Their road defense was a different story.
And Jeff Green drops them both.
And as you mentioned with the Kings, they did shoot well on the road, top 10 in the NBA in terms of road field goal percentage. And they actually shot threes better away from home as well. So the real question for them was on the defensive side of the ball.
And Cousins kicks to Kufis. 4 on the shot clock. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Shot clock at 6. From deep, McLemore. That's good. And the Kings lead by 5.
The Kings were only 11-30 on the road last season, guys, and being a bottom 5 defense on the road in the NBA is part of the reason for that.
Here's Gasol, and another miss by Memphis.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Now here's Cousins. McLemore with the ball. Back to Cousins. Some solid defense from Randolph.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's Randolph. Misses the layup.
That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
And McLemore slams it in.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Randolph, a screen on run. Conley, the pass to Randolph. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got 9 assists now tonight.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Checked in for Memphis. Darren Collison, he's checked in for Sacramento. Kings leading now by 5. He dishes it to Cousins. Back to Collison. Shot clock at 5. The Kings need to get off a shot here. Rejected by Gasol. Conley against Collison. And the wide open shot from Green. Offline with his 3. Kings have gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Collison kicks to Kufis. Puts it up from 12. And that one comes up a bit short.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, really turned it from a simple, straightforward look into a very difficult shot.
They kick it out to Green. Pass to Conley. Launches it. And that one's good. Now just a 2-point Kings lead.
Looked like he was channeling Bob Cousy right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble like that?
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. They're leading by 2. There's 1:38 left to play in the final quarter. There's 1:38 left in the fourth quarter. Collison kicks to Cousins. Now here's Collison. Back to Cousins. Shot from 12. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Cousins has got 20 points.
Man, did they need those points, and I bet he's the guy that continues to go for it.
Well, unless they alter the defense on him, I mean, he should be the guy they go to. His height gives him a huge edge the way they're playing him now, so keep going to it until the defense adjusts.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're down by 4. 124 left to play here in the fourth. Kicks it to Conley. Over in the corner, Gasol. Back to Conley. Here's Randolph. Can't get it to go. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Collison against Allen. Now here's Collison. He's covered closely. Here's Cousins. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Kings.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but don't forget about their points in the paint, because those have been big.
And he ends up making the second, and that puts them up by 5. Timeout called, the Grizzlies. They're down by 5. 56 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
All right, Memphis, you got your Grizz girls on the court. Give them a nice round of applause.
All right, 56 seconds left in the game. Picked by Randolph. Conley kicks to Gasol. Back to Conley. Gasol, a screen on Collison. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
Some great play by Zach Randolph tonight. 12 points and also a block shot. I tell you what, he's made his mark on this game in so many ways, guys.
And he would have stood out just on the strength of the defense. But how about offensively? He's been clicking there as well.
No problem for him there. You just know what the result's going to be when he steps to the line in a tight game like this.
To the inside, Kufis. Gasol with the steal.
Still a chance here, but they need to score.
I really agree, but it has to happen on every possession. They need points every trip.
And so they foul intentionally.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game.
Exactly. I mean, you got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, 2-possession game now. I mean, those were really important foul shots.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're behind by 4. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what's your take?
And you know what? And they're going to draw up something where they can get a quick shot and then maybe a foul.
That's got to be the game plan here. I mean, free throws are really their only hope. Points with the clock stopped.
There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Randolph dishes to Conley. It's good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Somebody's lit a fire under Mike Conley.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Yeah, but Greg, they didn't really have another option. I mean, I thought they did a nice job getting it in his hands and making sure he was the guy who'd go to the line.
It's the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
And you can wrap this one up. Great job to stay cool at the line and finish it off.
Randolph kicks to Conley, passes to Allen. Lets it go with the 3. Off the mark. And so it's Sacramento who scraped by with the win. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, DeMarcus, congratulations on the win tonight. We know you're a very intense player, but tonight you certainly seem to be having a lot of fun out there.
That's the thing. I'm just trying to come out here and have fun. I got a lot going for myself, and I'm too blessed to be out here frowning all the time. So I'm going to try to keep a smile on my face.
We love to see you smile, DeMarcus. Thanks for the time. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, DeMarcus Cousins.
Anytime you deliver that sort of production we saw from him tonight, you're going to put your team in position to win. He gave them points in bunches, and when they needed them. It's not always about how much you get, but when you get those points up on the board.
The thing I like most about Cousins is the passion he plays the game with. Maybe he rubs some people the wrong way, but I don't want my big man smiling all the time. I want my big man to be mean.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.